Welcome to day 9 of our 28 days of connections, and today's yoga practice is all about balance. But we're not going to do much of the standing on one leg. We'll do a little bit of it, but it's about balancing our left and our right side, so using those kind of sides of the brain. Yoga generally is good for engaging your left and your right side of your brain anyway. But today's practice is just going to sort of take us on a bit of a path of kind of swapping parts of our body sides, so that we kind of use different bits of each side of the body, so almost like opposing forces, as it were. So just come to a nice seated, comfortable position, and the invitation is here that if you want to, you can actually do the alternate nostril breathing practice before you begin this, so you can come into sort of a much more balanced breath state. So I'm not going to spend a long time kind of going into a calming state, but we will just take a few moments just to settle. So just closing your eyes or casting your gaze down, and just taking a few moments to connect into the present space and time. No. Sorry, had to tell the dogs off there. So, apologies for that. We will come back to connecting into the present space and time. So just starting off by becoming aware of the points of contact with the floor, or whatever it is that you're sat on. And don't forget there's those parts of the body that make contact with the ground, like the sides of your feet, depending on how you're sitting. If you're sat out with your legs straight in front of you, the backs of your legs. So just drawing attention to all of those parts of the body, being really aware of that connection to the ground. And then just doing that quick mental scan around your body, just to notice if there are any parts today that are speaking more loudly, hiding from you. So just taking your awareness all around your body. Just to say hi to every part. And today, if you want to, you can, when you find a part of your body that perhaps you feel needs a bit of extra attention, you can maybe just send your breath to that place. And then taking your attention to your breath and just noticing it and just observing it for a few moments. And when you're ready, you can maybe start to just move around that central channel. So if you imagine that you have your sort of almost your spine, channel of energy flowing around that, just start to make some small circles just moving around. Just keeping in tune with your breath. And then when you feel the time is right, you can take it back in the opposite direction, but only when the time is right for you. Apologies for my dishwasher. Then coming just to stillness in the centre. And we're going to take our left arm up. You don't need to open your eyes if you don't want to. Just literally just take it up straight up next to your ear. Take your right hand behind you. And then just come into a twist. And you can leave your arm up or you can bring it round and down, but just twisting around. Just keeping your back nice and spacious and upright. And then coming back to the middle, reaching your right arm up, taking a breath in and then coming round to a twist on the other side. And coming back to the middle. And just make your way to your not downward facing dog, your cat-cow, apologies. And just begin by making some of those gentle movements just to warm up your spine. Really feel into this move. This is a really good opportunity for you to kind of explore your spine and your shoulders and your hips. Just exploring into how they feel. If there are any points of tension or points that feel nicer to move. And again, from this position, if you feel the need just to stretch anything out, take any moves here, just come away from your cat-cow if you need to. And we're just going to take it down onto our bellies. And you can bring your arms out in front. So now just focus on lengthening. So you bring your arms straight out in front of you. So really try and lengthen, reaching your fingers a little bit further forward and your toes away from you. And we're just going to start by lifting up our left arm.
and then dropping it down after a few breaths. And then the same on the right. You really only need to hover it slightly off the ground and just drop it back down. And then the same with your left leg, just your left leg. Just hovering it off the ground. And then down. And then your right leg. Again, really think about lengthening. So rather than up, think about lengthening, pulling your foot away. And then down. And you may already notice that you sort of feel like you've lengthened yourself a little bit. So then we're going to, if you want to, you can just stick with arms and legs individually. Or you can then go into that opposition I was talking about. So left arm, right leg. So just hovering, stretching out. Really pull away, not up. Take a few breaths. And come down. Just if you need to make any adjustments in the middle, maybe give yourself a little shake, you can. And then take the other side, so your right arm and your left leg. And you may notice that one side is a lot easier than the other. And then dropping it down. And then just bring yourself back into that child's pose, just to ease off your back. And then coming up onto all fours, we're going to do a similar type of exercise, but this time in this more elevated position. So just beginning with your, so this is why also it's really good to establish that firm base when you start. So not locked elbows, just a nice soft minute bend in the elbows. Firm base on the legs, and then just begin by taking your left arm out and in front. And then doing the same, but on the right hand side. And as you do them, just when you come into your hold, just notice if you're perhaps dipping to one side, raising up in the shoulders. Just sense into it if you feel like you've come off that centre line. And then back down. And then doing the same with the legs. So the left leg. And again, think long rather than up. Length. Make sure that supporting leg doesn't drop. And then down. And then the right leg. And really try and focus again on centering those hips, flattening the hips down towards the ground. And then coming down. And then if you want to, you can take another quick stretch back. And then you've probably guessed it, we're just going to move into left arm, right leg. So really nice and strong reaching out. Keep your head gaze pointing down, nice long neck. Keep breathing. when you're ready, just slowly dropping down. And you can obviously stay in these balances for longer, or you can go back up if you want to into that same pose. I'm just taking you through a sort of guided short practice today to sort of show you the opposing forces type of thing. So then moving on to the right hand, left leg. Each time, just make sure you're set. Take that second just to check in. And then going. And again, nice strong body. Stretching out from the tip of the toes all the way to the tips of the fingers. And coming back down when you're ready. And then this time come back into your child's pose. Just give your shoulders a bit of a stretch. And then just coming up into your downward facing dog, just as a bit of a balancing pose back in the centre, just to reset everything. And then dropping down to your knees. And we're just going to take the right leg forward, coming into a lunge. Just maybe stretch out that chest, bring the length into the body, reaching forward, and then coming up into prayer position. And then when you're ready, taking a twist to the side. So you should have your left arm balanced on your right leg as you twist. And if you want to extend it, you can reach your hand up. Coming back down. Taking the right leg back. If you want to do another downward facing dog, you can, just to reset. Stretch out. And then coming down and stepping your left leg through. Make sure you've got that nice lunge position. Stretching forwards through the chest and up. And then coming into your lift up, hands in prayer. And when you're in prayer, just think about really lifting up and then taking that twist round. So this time your right arm is on your left thigh. Just feel that nice twist. And again, if you want to, you can reach your arm up for a slightly different feel. And coming back down, bringing the legs back, coming back onto your knees. Taking a few moments here. And making your way down to your back. Laying on your back. And we're just going to do a few gentle bridges. So using in your own time just to sense into when your body feels ready and able to move. So just tipping the pelvis to start with, and then peeling up slowly, slowly, slowly. Bringing your arms down to your sides and thinking about drawing your backs of your feet towards your bottom and pushing your knees away. And then if you want to, you can lift one leg up, so your left, and then take your right arm overhead. So you're in a the cross body position as we've just been doing. You don't need to lift the leg up massively. And then coming back down to your bridge, bringing your arm down. And you may want to reset, so you can come back out of your bridge. Take a few breaths. And then going back up into your bridge. And then taking the right leg out this time, the left leg overhead, left arm overhead, that would be interesting. And then coming back down, bringing the arm back to the centre and bringing yourself down for your bridge. And maybe just taking one last central bridge, just a nice gentle one. And reaching your arms up overhead, just to stretch out. And then coming all the way, vertebrae by vertebrae back down, bringing your arms down. And then just taking your knees gently from side to side, just to loosen off your back. And when you get to one side that feels good, just taking your knees and holding them down. And then you can either have your arms out straight, or you can do arms to one side, legs to the other. And coming back through the middle and taking your legs to the opposite side, so when you've just done, dropping them down and then taking a stretch out. And gently coming back to the middle. Just taking your arms up overhead. And then in this front position, reaching through the left leg and the right arm. So trying, this feels like a challenge to do this, so just see how you get on. So pointing your left toe, stretching your right arm, trying not to point both toes. So you're just trying to stretch through that sort of crossbody position. And then coming back. And then taking the left arm up, stretching through, pointing the right toes. It's like one of those things, once you get your mind engaged, or the feeling engaged, you can work it out. But when I first did, I was like, oh, can't do that one. Give yourself a bit of a hug. Take your arms down to the sides. And now, just enjoy the moment. Take a few minutes here to really allow the energy that you created during that practice to flow around your body. The practice leaves echoes of the movements you've just done. This is where the magic happens. So yes, just take a few moments here, or as long as you have. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow.